Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, the time is 8:35 in the morning. Today's date is March the 4th, 2026. We're in Baton Rouge at the Department of Corrections headquarters. My name is Steve Prater. You can see our name tags in front of us. To my right is Jerry Ledoux. To my left is Chuck Gillis. Staff here in Baton Rouge, would you introduce yourselves, please? Okay, the staff, and we thank you for the job that you all do. And we are talking, our first cases are at the Jefferson Parish Correctional Center. And would the staff there that's helping us with this, would you introduce yourselves, please?
Yes, sir. This is Deputy Landry with the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office.
Okay. All right, thank you, sir. We appreciate that. And our first hearing today, and this is a parole revocation hearing. Our first hearing will be with Mr. Vernon Jones. Is your name Mr. Jones?
Yes, sir. Good morning. How you doing, Mr.
Doing fine, Mr. Jones. And what is your DOC number?
126100.
Okay. And do you have a waiver in front of you, a questionnaire in front of you that says, talks about your attorney and that sort of thing? And
Yes, sir. I have it right here. I've read it and signed it.
Okay, you read it and signed it. Good man. Okay, your case has been assigned to Mr. Tillis to discuss any kind of rule or condition violations that you're suspected of. Mr. Tillis, would you go ahead and start?
Good morning, Mr. Jones. How are you doing?
As well, I'm fine, Mr. Tillis. How are you?
Good. We have some rule violations that you violated. Rule number 4. I'm going to ask you, I'm going to read one of the rules to you. You can plead guilty, not guilty with a statement. Violation number 4, you fail to refrain from criminal activities as of evident by the arrest on 5/6/25 for armed robbery. The bill of information under Jefferson Parish docket number 252737, armed robbery with a firearm and convicted felon with a weapon. The next court date is 3/3/2026. How do you plead? Guilty? Not guilty?
I plead not guilty, but may I ask a question, sir? I had it came in mind this morning to try to get a continuance. I went to court yesterday. I go back to court on May 11th for the suppressed evidence and everything. I was hoping that this board could let me go through the court proceedings before you try to, revoke me, or to see how my proceedings come out in court before I either revoke myself or I get found guilty or not guilty. So I was asking for continuance because I see on the paper I can ask for continuance at my meeting. I had sent a letter about 2 weeks ago, and I know it's probably too short for you guys to respond. So I'm just asking for continuance this morning.
Yes, sir. We did get your letter, just for one clarification.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got the letter, and I don't think it has anything to do with the court date that you have. It doesn't have anything to do with our revocation.
Well, okay, I understand what you said, Mr. Taylor. Look, can I just read this? What it says? It says, at the revocation hearing, you may speak, present witnesses, or present documents on your behalf. You may also request a continuance of the final revocation hearing to gather more information for the board to cross-examine the various witnesses. My reason for the continuation is these are pending charges that they have against me, and me trying to explain to you without having to lie to the board will sort of incriminate myself, as opposed to the proceedings in court, as opposed to what's going on with the revocation. If you ask me some questions related to my crime that I'm allegedly, being accused of, and I have to answer in a correct way, you guys, I would have to take the fifth on and would give you the right to violate me right off the top by me not being truthful to answer the questions, not incriminate myself because I'm in proceedings during my court. I'm not sure if you guys understand that.
Let's go ahead and continue.
Okay, do you have any questions?
I want to ask a question. Were you paroled for the Parole Project?
Yes, ma'am, I sure was.
And you left before that 6 months was up or whatever? You left the Parole project?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
Why?
Some of the classes that I was taking over there, I had took them inside the penal system itself. And basically the only classes that I needed when I was there, it only took a month and something. And that was the dealing with phone technology and to go out to try to get job, not job skill resume, but introduce myself to a job and find employment. I didn't get kicked out or anything like that, no ma'am.
I'm going to say, let's go ahead and do a continuance.
Okay, I think we're prepared to vote. We have Mr. Tillis who's leading the charge and he votes to continue. Ms. Jerry,
I vote to have the hearing. Go ahead.
you vote to have the hearing. Probable cause has been found to have the hearing, the court hearing.
And we have an executive session.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion for an executive
And
session
a second.
and we have a second and no objection from me. So as of 8:42 in the morning, we will go into executive session for just a moment to discuss a procedural matter about this, and we will be right back.
All right, thank you, sir.
They're having an executive meeting, they'll be back. to see what they're gonna do. No, he would come back way after. No, because it was already looking crazy when the toilet flushed. Nobody.
Okay, the time is 8:43 in the morning, and I believe we're ready to get out of executive session. If I gotta have a motion and a
I
second.
move that we get back into regular session.
And
Got a motion and a second and no objection, so that we will be back in regular session as of now at 8:43. It's up to Mr. Tillis. And he had stated he was considering a
Continue.
continuance.
But we're gonna go ahead and have the case. I think we have enough evidence to talk to you about it, and you can plead guilty, not guilty, or with a statement. We're gonna move forward with it. Mr. Vernon. Okay, violation number 4, as you fail to refrain from criminal activities as evidence on your arrest on 5/6/25 armed robbery with a firearm and a convicted felon with a weapon. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or with a statement? You're on mute. They have you on mute.
Can you hear us?
We can hear you now.
Okay, I plead not guilty, Mr. Tillis.
With a statement?
No, at this time, I don't really have a statement in regards to that. I'm speaking to the fact because I'm still in court litigations. I don't want to say anything that's on record that would harm me as well. So, sir, no, I don't have a statement. I'm just not guilty.
Okay. Violation number 5, you fail to refrain from possessing a firearm as evident by your arrest for armed robbery on 5/6/25. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or with the statement?
I plead not guilty with a statement based upon the fact in my discovery package that I have from the court there in the search warrant of my home, in my vehicle, there was not a weapon found at all in that. I'm discharged with that from the robbery of that they allegedly say I did, but in evidence, there is no gun at all in it. I'm not sure if you guys have my discovery package or anything about that. There's no weapon involved, sir.
Okay, so did you try to rob?
No, sir.
You didn't have a firearm.
No, I don't own a firearm. I've never had a firearm, sir.
Colleagues have any questions?
Was there number 10 on there?
Okay, number 10, you failed to pay supervision fees. You are in the arrear of $819, have not made any payments. How do you plead on that?
I plead guilty to the fact of that, and I have a statement in regards to that. When I came home from the parole project, and the reason that I relieved early in the parole project, people understood this as well. Before I was released out of prison, my mother and my aunt died 30 days before I released. I came home into the home that I was, entitled to come to for living conditions approved by the parole board and my parole officer. My father was on hospice at that time, and during the time that I was out of prison, for the short period I was out there, I had to take care of my father. I was living off of snaps, food stamps was coming in. I tried to seek gainful employment and everything. My criminal history, my background, and my age didn't allow me to seek the employment. It would pull back up on my record. I had caught a job with my little brother. He has a landscaping business. I was only able to work like 2 or 3 days out of the week with him because I had to take care of my father. He didn't have a permanent, what you call live-in, some person to take care of him. So this is where I played the part with just me and my father. My father died October the 15th of 2024 and everything like that. So I was really like his primary caretaker besides the nurse that came from the Synergy Home Health Care. So this is why I didn't have employment. This was explained to my parole officers and everything doing that because I couldn't pay the bills because I was living off of food stamps and a check that my father was getting from his monthly benefits.
Hey, any colleagues have any questions?
Yes, sir. You're a second class offender.
Yes, sir.
How many times have you been accused and found guilty of violating probation or parole?
I think twice, sir. Last time I came home from prison was the first time I was on parole supervision. I had a substance abuse problem at that time, and I was revoked for dirty urine, sir.
Okay. And what about the second time?
I think it was either a domestic battery or something. I'm not really sure, sir. I know it was something.
So but you've been revoked twice before in the past, correct?
Yes, from parole supervision. Yes, that was go ahead.
I wasn't going to ask you about your current case, but I did want to find that out. How you do on?
I'm listening to you, Ms. Braden. We standing up, it's kind of like uncomfortable in here because I'm leaning down talking to you guys. I can't hear you, Ms. Ledoux.
You're doing fine. We can see you fine.
Okay.
You can stand up if you feel more comfortable. Yeah.
Okay. Any questions, Ms. Ledoux?
No, I would just note that video footage of the crime clearly shows a gun. So I'm looking at the evidence before me today that I have access to. Okay. Thank you. That's all I need to say.
Okay. I think we're prepared to vote, Mr. Tillis.
My vote is to revoke for violation of rule number 4.5.
Okay.
My vote is to revoke based on evidence of he didn't follow his probation parole guidelines.
Okay. And my vote also is to revoke violations of 4, 5, and 10. Okay, as of 8:49 this morning, your parole has been revoked. Thank you, sir. End of the
See, you can tell so this is a good example. He went first, so now he went to the right.
And then he
The
moved over.
next one is the middle, okay? That's how you know, he's gonna.
So every
choose the
time you
next
do
one.
it, I heard him ask your name. So he's like, every
Yeah,
time
so
you
if
get
you're
that
here,
name,
you're gonna say, I'm deputy so-and-so, Jefferson
Jefferson
Parish.
Parish.
Sure. Yep, you're gonna introduce yourself or whoever.
Okay.
But I mean, one person's fine.
But they ask you that or you just told them that?
No, they're gonna ask you.
They ask you.
And of course, right when they had it, you flushed the toilet. So they're like, thank you. Ask you about that questionnaire. That's the same thing I was talking about, right?
And when they told you we was mute, all you did was tap the screen and then it came up.
Yeah.
Cause I saw you on mute, so all you did was hit it and then it popped up.
Yeah, like you just hit the little mic on me.
Okay, I thought you did.
They had never done that from their side, like when they had their little separate meeting, they. See, they started before now.
So really good.
See what I'm saying? They should be saying that, but here we are.
Or were you training me? So
Continue.
Good morning. The time is 8:55 in the morning. We're in Baton Rouge, and this is our second hearing. And we're at, you were at Jefferson Parish Correctional Center, is that correct? You're on mute, please.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Okay, would you introduce yourself, the deputy that's in the room with us?
Yes, sir. It's Deputy Landry with the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office.
Okay, thank you for hosting us. We appreciate that. And my name is Steve Prater. To my right is Jerry Ledoux. To my left is Chuck Tillis. And we're in Baton Rouge, as I said previously. And your name is, please introduce yourself, sir.
Cord Gauthier,
Okay? And what is your DLC number?
548340.
Okay, we've lost the video, but we are picking up the audio. I think we've lost the video just on our screen. Is that correct?
Oh, no, they're moving. I can see it. Yeah.
But up here, it's broken. Okay, well, we can see you on another screen, just not the one directly in front of us. Mr. Gauthier, is that right?
Gauthier.
Gauthier.
Gucci.
Okay, I'm from North Louisiana, so I have trouble with that.
Yes,
So anyway, what is you said what your DLC number is. Do you have a waiver in front of you, a parole questionnaire?
Yes, sir.
Parole revocation questionnaire, and it's in front of you, and you signed that and you acknowledged all of the appropriate places there, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you're ready for this hearing, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, your case has been assigned to Mr. Tillis to my left, and we've all familiar with your case, but he's going to be the lead interviewer, and then we'll ask any questions that we might have.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Mr. Tillis?
Good morning, Mr. Gucci. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you? Good morning.
Good. We have violation number 4. You were arrested on 7/10/25 for resisting an officer, obstruction of justice, contrabands in correctional center, possession of synthetic marijuana, and 2 municipal attachments in the 2nd Parish Court, 2 municipal attachments in West Wego, and 2 municipal attachments in Gretna. The charges of possession of Schedule 3 and obstruction of justice are currently pending under Jefferson's docket 25-544. On 2/9/26, the pending felony charges of obstruction of justice and Schedule 3 possession of controlled dangerous substance were dismissed. The charges were resisting arrest and possession of synthetic marijuana are currently pending. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or with a statement?
I pled guilty and they gave me 6 months credit for time served.
You plead guilty?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Colleagues have any questions?
Actually, I do. Mr. Gauthier, last name Ledoux, I think I knew that, how to say that name. You have a significant drug problem, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
So you were actually did a 28-day when you got out, completed it, and you went to Oxford House?
Yes, ma'am. I plan to do the same thing when I get out, just when I about to get out.
So you're having a real difficult time breaking that addiction.
Yes, ma'am. Since I lost my mom, I had found my mom dead, and I had really took it hard and kind of went off the deep end, if you will.
You're a 4th felony offender. Have most of these arrests been drug related?
All of them, yes, ma'am.
What's the longest that you spent incarcerated?
14 months.
Okay, so while you've been incarcerated, have you had any kind of substance abuse treatment while incarcerated?
Yes, ma'am. I took the substance abuse class in Plaquemines.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So your drugs are mentally, are you ready to get off drugs?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That, that informs my decision. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I was gonna point out the same thing, but you know you've got a huge drug problem. You're going to be getting out your full-time date is, I think, not too many months from now.
Oh, yeah. I wonder, I don't know if we can even do.
That's what I was wondering if you need to go to an extensive drug treatment plan under the DOC guidelines while you're locked up. I don't think that you getting out and going to another 28-day program where you can leave if you need to or whatever, that's going to be sufficient for you. I think you need some more rigid guidelines. But I think we're prepared to vote. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Mr. Tillis?
My vote today is revoke for violation number 4.
Okay, Ms. Jerry, you maybe can word this.
My vote is to send you to, in lieu of revocation, to a DOC substance abuse program. And it may not be the length of time that I'd like to see, but in lieu of revocation, I would like for you to go to a DOC substance abuse program. So you would still be incarcerated, but you would have some hopefully productive time while you're in, okay?
Okay. I concur. I would just. I hate to confuse things, but I'd like to call for an executive session if I could get a motion and
I second.
Yeah, so moved.
okay, I have a motion and a second and no objection for a executive session. Talk about an option on procedural matters. It's 9:03. We'll be back in just a minute or two. Okay.
Want me to bring him back on?
We get the paperwork, we'll be back up for you to sign.
Okay, the time is 9:06. Could I have a motion to go back into,
I mean,
okay, we got a
And a second.
motion and a second to go back into regular session. And no objections, so we are back at 9:06 into regular session. And you have one vote to revoke. You have one vote in lieu of revocation that you attend a
long-term.
long-term substance abuse operated by the Department of Corrections while incarcerated. And I will second that. And that would be my recommendation too. That'd be my vote also, is that you, in lieu of revocation, you attend a long-term substance abuse at the DOC's discretion, long-term substance abuse treatment plan. And so having said that, Mr. Tillis, is that concur, do you
Yeah, I concur.
concur with that amendment on that?
I concur.
Okay, all right. So we have, as of right now, your parole has not been revoked, but in lieu of revocation, you are still going to be in jail and you're still going to have to attend a Department of Corrections long-term substance abuse plan wherever they decide to send you. And that's our vote as of 9:07. Good morning, Mr. Mudd. How you doing today?
Good morning, sir. Pretty good. How are y'all?
Oh, that's horrible audio. Let's see. Who is it? Okay, we're at CALCASIEU Correctional Center is where you are. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there's a terrible echo in the room.
We're gonna move to a different area. We're gonna move to a less echoey area. Oh no, it's just a lot of echo in there.
Thanks for doing that because it's horrible.
No, it's the echo in that room. Burger, it's over?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's
Right here. Oops, sorry.
Okay, let's try that. Let's try that room. The time is 9:15 in the morning. We're in Baton Rouge at headquarters, Department of Correction headquarters. My name is Steve Prater. To my left is Chuck Tillis. To my right is Jerry Ledoux. We're here to have a revocation hearing for Mr. Cody Mudd. Mr. Cody Mudd is at CALCASIEU Parish, correct? Is that you I'm looking at, Mr. Mudd?
Yes, sir.
What is your DLC number?
758456.
Okay. And do you have a revocation questionnaire in front of you?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign that questionnaire and answer those questions appropriately?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you're prepared for this hearing, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, your case has been assigned to me, and so I'm going to be asking some questions. You're accused of violating condition number 4 of your parole conditions that you agreed to, and it's a couple of different things on there. One is that you were you engaged in new criminal conduct, and you were arrested for attempted third-degree rape and home invasion. And I realize those have been dismissed by the DA's office, correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you guilty of those or innocent of those?
I'm innocent.
Okay. The second one is you engaged in new criminal conduct, which resulted in the arrest of unauthorized entry of an inhabited dwelling. And was that case in relation to the first case?
Yes, sir.
And that has been dismissed also, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then the last one is the same, you're accused of violating the same condition number 4, which says you won't be involved in criminal conduct. And it is that you failed to refrain from associating with people known to be involved in criminal activity, as well as failed to avoid casinos, which is evidenced by the Sulphur PD arrest report, in which it was reported you were at a casino with a convicted offender, Ty Mott. Are you guilty of that or innocent of that?
Guilty.
You're guilty of that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Do you have any kind of statement you want to make about that?
Well, I don't know if it means anything, but I will say that I didn't know that he was a felon. But I definitely knew I was at the casino.
All right. I really don't have any other questions.
I don't have any.
Okay. Mr. Mudd, I think that you've been in trouble, and I think you got out you're a second offender, and I think that you didn't abide by the rules that you're supposed to abide by. And that main rule is number 4, you're hanging around with the wrong people doing the wrong things. And so regardless of the DA having dismissed that charge, I'm going to move on to the other one where you're going to casinos and you're hanging around, hanging around other convicted offenders. And in addition, some suspicious circumstances. I think that you need to go ahead and finish up your time. And so therefore my vote is that you be revoked as violating condition number 4.
I concur with Mr. Prater.
My vote is also to revoke.
Okay, as of 9:19 this morning, your parole has been revoked. End of the hearing.
Sir, is that good or bad? Well, my full term's up. So I'm doing a parish job until December anyway, so I don't really know.
Good morning.
Good morning. You
I
didn't,
don't think, well, I just got let.
you're right. I can't hear you. Hold on a second. Go ahead. All three, go ahead.
Okay, good morning. My name is Steve Prater. We're in Baton Rouge. To my right is Jerry Ledoux.
Go ahead.
To my left is Chuck Tillis. We're to handle one of several revocation hearings that we've had today.
John
We're
Jackson.
speaking to Ouachita Correctional Center.
Yes, sir. I'm getting John Jackson right now. John Jackson. All right. Oh.
What's that?
Hey, come on. All right, sir, here he is, John Jackson.
Hey, Mr. Jackson,
How you doing, sir?
how are you today? My name is Steve. My name is Steve Prater. To my right is Jerry Ledoux. To my left is Chuck Tillis. We're in Baton Rouge, and we are at the Department of Corrections headquarters. We're the board that will be hearing your parole revocation hearing this morning. And your name is Mr. John Jackson, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and your DLC number is what?
Somebody when I was in DOC,
Yes, sir.
99529. That's the
Okay.
one you got.
Yes, sir, that's correct. And do you have a questionnaire in front of you?
What the paper?
Yeah, that right there.
Yes, sir, I got one.
Did you sign that questionnaire and fill out those questions and it's appropriate? It talks about your rights for this hearing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, I appreciate that. And you are eligible for appointed counsel, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you have appointed counsel?
Yes, sir, she here.
Okay, there she is. I didn't see you on the screen. I'm very sorry. Okay.
Good morning.
Miss Colleen Butler, is that correct, Miss Butler?
That is correct. I have been appointed to represent Mr. Jackson.
Okay, well, please feel free to take part in this hearing at any point. Just interrupt us as we go through the proceedings, okay?
Yes, and actually, I must apologize. I did not get to speak with my client until this morning. My dad has been in the hospital, but he would like me to subpoena his doctor as well as his parole officer. So I would like to request a continuance if possible.
Okay, let's see. I think that would, do you have any objections?
I'm not certain that would be relevant to what we're seeing today. The evidence that we have would probably not be illuminated by those.
I understand, and I did explain that to Mr. Jackson, but I also told him I would request the continuance.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I think that we are ready to proceed then. If, I don't believe we need a vote on that continuance. Okay, if you would go ahead and proceed.
Okay, Ms. Butler, I'm going to be asking your client some questions, and he is asked to give us a vote of guilty with a statement, or not guilty. If you need to intervene, please do so, but the vote needs to come from him.
Yes, ma'am.
So you are, Mr. Jackson, you are accused of violating condition number 2 of your parole in that you failed to report for the months of March through July, October through December of 2020, January through February, April through August, October through December of 21, January to February, April, June through December of 2022, February through April, June to October, December of 23, January to April, June, September, November to December of 24, January through February 25, and that's since you've been placed on supervision in 2020. So you have failed to report to your supervising officer as instructed 47 times. What would be your plea, sir?
Not guilty.
Okay. Do you have documentation that you reported?
Yes, ma'am, but I don't got it up here. That's how come I wanted my witnesses so my doctor could bring them. My parole officer and his supervisor, they put me on a mental health program. I've been in there for 5 years. He told me I didn't have to report in, but every month when I go see my doctor, my parole officer would be on the phone sometime when I did. That's why come I wanted him to be up here for to tell y'all that that's the reason why I didn't have to report, because they had me in a mental program.
Okay. So that more serious, let's talk about violation number 4. You were arrested on 2/25 of 25 for possession of controlled dangerous substance Schedule 1, possession of a firearm, or carrying a concealed weapon by a person, by a felon, possession of controlled dangerous substance, Schedule 2, illegal carrying of weapon with narcotics. Also possession with the intent to distribute CDS 2 and possession with the intent to distribute. It looks like you have a court date of March 11th, 2026. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Condition number 5 relates to the firearm. Says that you had a firearm in your possession when you were arrested 2/25/25 by the Sheriff's Department in Ouachita.
No, ma'am, they took me back to my house. They took me back to my house and they searched my house where me and my brother were living at. They searched my house and
This is probably being recorded and they can use anything against you in your active criminal case. So I would advise you not to discuss the facts of that case.
Could I go into the executive session?
Absolutely. We have a motion to go to executive session.
I second.
Okay, got a motion and a second to go into executive session. All in favor, of course, there's no objection. So as at 9:30, we're gonna go into executive session for just a moment and we will be right back. Thank you.
Yeah, I know what you were trying to say. We just didn't want them to.
yes, ma'am. I can't hear you.
Yeah, they muted me. So I don't, they popped up where they couldn't hear us and then they muted me. So, but I just don't want you to say anything that gets used against you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the time is 9:31. Could I have a motion to go back into?
I move that we get back into regular session.
In second.
Got a motion and a second and no objection to going back into regular session. So 9:32 in the morning and we are going back into regular session. And having discussed some procedural matters, Ms. Ledoux, would you?
Yeah, Ms. Butler, during the course of the questioning, I recognize that there is a need for you to have more involvement in this case. On the onset, I felt like we could go ahead and proceed, but after having a few questions, I believe that it's necessary for more involvement by appointed counsel. It would not be fair to your client, our client as well, to continue this hearing. So my vote is going to be to have a formal continuance of this case, not only to allow the court case, but also adequate representation.
Okay, that is your vote. And
I concur with Ms. Ledoux if the attorney feels that's okay.
okay, thank you for that. And I concur, not that it's needed because you just need 2 votes on this particular motion in a revocation hearing, but I certainly concur with that. And so, Mr. Jackson, as of 9:33 this morning, this hearing is going to be continued, okay?
Yes, sir.
As originally requested, and so we'll just stand, you'll be hearing more about from us and as far as when your hearing will be continued too. So thank you and appreciate that. Appreciate your representation that you have here, ma'am. And so the case is continued at time 9:33.
Best of luck to your father.
Thank you. I just have one other client.
Okay.
I don't know whether I should jump off or not.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. I'll be in touch.
Yes, ma'am. That's what.
They're gonna ask you for that sheet, but you didn't sign it, so you ain't got one. Right? Yeah, you wanna tell them they're gonna ask you, so no, I didn't sign, so I didn't get that. Huh? It is. Probably good stuff.
Okay, the time is 9:42. This is continuation of hearings at Ouachita Correctional Center. Mr. Ladamiem Molet, is that you?
Yes, sir.
How do I say your last name?
It's supposed to be Mallet, but they put an O on it, so it's Molet.
Okay, Molet. What is your DOC number, sir?
579-680, sir.
Okay, and my name's Steve Prater. I failed to introduce myself. I'm sorry. And to my right is Judy Stu. To my left is Chuck Tillis, and we're going to be hearing your revocation hearing this morning. And do you have a questionnaire in front of you?
No, sir.
Okay, you refused to sign that questionnaire. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I signed no paper.
Okay, are you willing to have this? Are you willing to have this hearing this morning? You going to participate in this hearing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you understand, are you mentally stable at this particular time?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs?
No, sir.
Okay, are you under the care of a mental health professional?
No, sir.
Okay, so you really don't have any reason not to, or to have an appointed counsel, and you had a chance to hire a counsel, and there's none that have checked in with us. So we're fixing to go ahead and have this hearing this morning. And you have one person that's here to speak on your behalf, and that's your sister, and we'll get to her in just a moment. But let me explain to you, since the case is mine, I want to explain to you what we're here for.
Yes, sir.
You're a sixth offender, is that correct?
No, sir.
Okay, what offender are you? What's your offender status?
Probably 3.
3? Okay, well, it said sixth on the rap sheet, so it doesn't really make any difference. I'm just trying to make sure we got the right person. And anyway, you're accused of having violated condition number 4, which means that you won't be involved in any criminal conduct and won't be around drugs and won't be around that sort of thing. And you're accused of violating that because of an arrest that occurred in May of 2025. And you were charged with possession of fentanyl or distribution of fentanyl. You were charged with possession with intent on CDS-2, possession with intent on CDS-1. CDS means controlled dangerous substance.
Yes, sir.
And the distribution of fentanyl. And so all were dismissed except the fentanyl charge. And so you're still going to court on that. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you're accused of having sold fentanyl to an undercover agent. Is that correct?
No, sir. It was no agent involved. The police said I sold to him. If you read my affidavit, the police say he made a control by himself. And he tried to act as if that day he bought some and took it to the lab, got it tested, and came back and got me, but that's not what happened, sir.
Okay, but you're accused of having sold this fentanyl under a controlled buy situation where it was controlled by the police department. They got the fentanyl and they took it to the crime lab and it came back having, I think, it had synthetic marijuana, cocaine, heroin, and fentanyl in what you're accused of having sold. Is that correct?
Sir, none of that never happened. They got this dirty police officer. He don't like me, and he put all that on me. We know that you can never have a mixture like that. That's never a mixture. Like, that'll kill somebody, man. That's death.
Okay, so you're saying your statement is, and I assume you're pleading not guilty. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I'm not guilty. I never. This is what happened, sir. Well, I was contacted. Well, my old parole officer went and got my information from my new parole officer for the police. Well, they was texting my sister, who on there right now, phone to set up a meeting while I was at work, tell them that they want to see me outside of the office. So I told them I'd get off at 4:30, which when I got off, me and my sister go over there. Soon we get there, my old parole officer telling me like, you got a warrant for Anthony Cow. And I'm like, a warrant? But I already know that the police officers don't like me because under when I had my last case, I said some bad words to him. I did, because he messed over me then. But he seen me May when I went to report. He saw me, he was over there seeing somebody else parole officer. And I kind of knew he was gonna do something. He didn't even know I was out of jail until he saw me then. And a couple weeks later, he come back and put these bogus charges on me. But they dismissed all the charges. And somehow wind up with another charge in July. That fentanyl charge that you see, he put that on me in July after they dismissed my other charges. So that's what I'm going to court on now, sir. I don't know what's going on in this matter, sir. I really don't. That's why I wasn't signing nothing, because I never did nothing. I never sold nothing. I never was in contact with nobody on nothing. And I just wind up in jail, sir. That's what happened.
Okay. All right. So your statement basically is that the police officer has it out for you. Is that correct?
Yeah, personal vendetta against me because I said some bad words to him, sir.
Okay. Okay, let's move on to condition number 10. You owe $441 in back fees.
They saying that the reason why they saying my parole never stopped while I was ill, but I never was behind. Before I come to jail, I made all my payments, sir. But if you go back from when I first come to jail, I didn't owe a thing. I paid my parole officer. I reported every month. I paid online. I ain't owe nothing. But the new parole officer say that it looked like they never stopped my fees while I was locked up. The 6 months I was locked up, they never stopped my fees, but I never been in the real. My sister pay online for me every month. I go report, and my sister pay them online. I never owe nothing. Miss Michelle Shepard will tell you that. I never owed her nothing.
Okay, all right. That's just what you were accused of, and I appreciate the statements on both number 4 and number 10. Let's hear from your sister and see what she's got to say about all of this. Miss Taquisha Molet?
Yes, sir.
I apologize if I said your name wrong, but what do you have to say about this fella? Give us your insight.
Okay, May the 22nd, I kept getting calls from what's supposed to have been his probation officer. So they kept calling and they kept texting me and my mom. And I told the lady, I said, ma'am, he already reported. I said, so what did he need? She said, I'm just trying to keep him on track and we need to speak with him outside of his regular visit. I say, okay. I say, well, when he get off, I bring him by there. She said, no. She said, just meet us at the location, his address. I said, okay, just like that. So she kept calling. She kept calling. She said, are you coming? Are you coming? I said, ma'am, we're on our way. Like, it takes like 20 minutes and we're on our way. So when we finally got there, we got to the house. One of the officers came out and Ladamien and them, he went inside to speak to our godmother, and they came back out and they told him that he was under arrest. And he was like, for what? He said, we have a warrant for your arrest. He said, for what? They patted him down and this, that, and another, and a third. And Ladamien noticed the lady. He said, you're not my probation officer. No, she asked him. He said, you're not my probation officer, just like that. She said, no. She said, did I used to be your probation officer or something to that nature? He was like, no. He said, no, just like that. And so he patted him down and everything. He said, well, we have to wait Mr. Cowan. I think that's his name, Mr. Cowan. So we waited probably about 10 to 15 minutes. Mr. Cowan come up. He was like, did y'all pat him down? The officer was like, yes, we did. He said, did y'all get anything off of him? He said, no. He said, you didn't get any drugs off of him? He said, no. He said, you didn't get any money or a gun off of him? He said, no, we didn't get anything off of him. We patted him down. Okay, so Karen was like, well, Diamond, we have a warrant for your arrest, this, that, and other, and the third. He told him, whatever have you. He said, I haven't done anything. He said, so how you have a warrant for my arrest? So he said, I'm not going to go backwards and forward with you. He said, because you still selling over there and you still selling something. He said, what are you talking about? He was like, I don't even live over there. So what are you talking about? Just like that. So they kind of was going backwards and forward. To make a long story short, they was arguing. So whatever have you, they got done. So he took him and put him in the back of his car. He turned around. He brought out a yellow envelope. When he brought out the yellow envelope, I'm assuming it's something that you write on. He turned around and looked at the physical address to get the physical address because he didn't have it on the paper. So him and Ladamien by the end still going backwards and forward. And that was it. So Cowan came and he spoke with me and my other sister. He said, I know y'all probably have questions for me. He said, I'm gonna try to answer them as much as I can. I said, okay. I said, I was just trying to see, what do you mean? Like, what are you going to jail for? He said, Miss Malley, he said, I'm gonna be honest with you. He said several people that came to my office this week and was telling me about him selling drugs, this, that, and other, and the third. He said it was fentanyl, something else, and something else. He named probably about 4 or 5 drugs. He said that it killed somebody. I say, huh? I said, so what, he going to jail for murder? Just like that. He said, Miss Mallet, he said, I know that's your family member. He said, we all have family members. He said, in fact, my brother sell drugs. He saying, I can't get him to stop. He said, but I told Ladamien the last time I was gonna get him. He said, sir,
we
sir?
can be, would you kind of get to the point of what you know about this distribution charge or what you want to tell us about your brother?
That's the point that I'm getting to with him and Cowan.
Okay.
He didn't. Okay, so well, I'm gonna tell you this. When they picked him up, he didn't have anything on him. Cowan said that somebody came to his office and told him, and that's what made him come out to pick him up.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Mr. Molet.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you something. It says on your rap sheet you're a 6th offender. How many times have you been on parole?
I've been on parole. I like every time after I got out, so that was like 3 times.
How many times have you been revoked on parole?
I never really been revoked on parole. I always like Well, I've been revoked. Yeah, I have been revoked after I take a sentence, and they kind of like extend my parole. So like when I plea out to a charge, they like running in my parole, and so if that's considered as revoked, I guess that's revoked.
Yes, sir. I
Yes.
suppose. Okay,
Can you name the officer that you think has it out for you? What
Oh,
was
yes,
his-
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. His name is Anthony Cowan.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
any other questions?
I want to ask a question. Mr. Molet,
Yes, sir.
are you selling drugs? Have you been selling drugs since you've been on parole?
No,
Tell me
sir.
that.
No, sir. No, sir. It's just simply a personal vendetta with me and him, sir. It's a
Okay.
personal vendetta.
How long have you been out on parole?
I was out for like 9 months. I got released in probably like the end of September in 2024, and I was working with my uncle, Mr. Chuck. I was working with my uncle, and I haven't had no run-ins or no problem with the police or nothing. Doing what I'm supposed to do on parole, sir. But when I went to report in May, early May, and I ran into that officer, no, he looked at me funny, and I knew he was gonna be something, because it's simply from my last case, sir. The vendetta started then. He locked me up, but he claimed that I was in the car, me and my stepbrother. He claimed he found a small bag of drugs on the passenger side, but they let my stepbrother go. He the passenger. He telling him like it wasn't nothing over there. I was sitting over there, but he locked me up, and that pushed forward the anger in me to say the words that I said to him, and he had a personal vendetta against me ever since then.
Okay, but you have not been selling or using drugs?
No, sir, at all.
And you've been up with your pay?
I don't use drugs, sir, and I haven't sold no narcotics or nothing since I've been released. I haven't did, sir.
Thank you. That's all.
Okay, thank you. All right, you got any questions? Okay, I reviewed the reports, the police reports. I reviewed what it said about what was contained and what you're accused of having control of buy, sold.
Yes,
I think you're right about the money, the number 10. I think you're not guilty of that. I think you have been keeping up, but I can't get over the fact that we got a police report and we got a crime lab report saying that there were some very dangerous drugs in what you're supposed to have sold on this controlled buy. So therefore my vote is to revoke your parole at this particular time. That's just my vote.
Mr. Steve, can I ask you a question?
No, sir, we're voting now. Mr. Tillis?
My vote is do not revoke.
Okay.
This is very difficult. You have a court case. Your full term date is 27, 8 of 27, next August.
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to court, and if you're found guilty, then you'll be resentenced. Where did the drugs come from that they tested if they didn't get it from you?
Ma'am, it was never no drugs involved. I swear it wasn't, ma'am. I don't know what that law talking about. You know, this was his words to me. These was his words to me when me and him had a conversation. His words was he not gonna be satisfied until I do a long time. Those was his words. But
Okay.
you don't have no evidence of this buy, no evidence of these drugs. We don't even know if they're really drugs.
My vote today is do not revoke.
Okay, as of today, at 9:59, you have not been revoked. The vote was 2-1. I voted to revoke and the other two voted not to revoke. Therefore, you carried the day. And so you are not revoked as of today.
But why would he want to revoke me? I ain't did.
Mr. Rodney Sims, is that who I'm looking at? Okay, you're on mute, Mr. Sims. If you would get off of mute and get on to unmute.
Can you unmute?
You're muted right now if you can hear us.
We can hear you. There you go. Should be
Okay,
on.
then now I can hear you. Okay, great, great. We appreciate that. Mr. Rodney Sims, is that you?
Yes, sir.
And what is your DLC number, Mr. Sims?
466608.
Okay, my name is Steve Prater. To my right is Jerry Ledoux, and she's gonna be handling your case. And to my left is Chuck Tillis. We're in Baton Rouge. We're the Committee on Parole. We're gonna be hearing your revocation hearing this morning, your final revocation hearing to determine whether you should be revoked or not. And so having said all that, do you have a waiver or a questionnaire in front of you, a revocation questionnaire?
Yes.
Okay, and you are eligible for appointed counsel. And I see Ms. Butler on the screen with us now this time. Thank you for pointing that out. Then we have, just for your information, Ms. Butler, we have several screens in here. It's not on the same TV. And so we have to kind of, so that's why I didn't see you. But welcome again. And feel free, you are muted, but I'd like to unmute you so that you could take part.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, good. So you can take part in any of this hearing that you so determine. Did you have anything to say, preempt before we start the hearing?
Not in this matter.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Ms. Ledoux is handling this case, and I think.
Yes. Mr. Sims, there are quite a few charges that you were arrested on, 8/24 of 24. And I need to, for the record, read those out. So bear with me, and then I'm going to ask you to give me a plea of guilty, not guilty, or guilty with a statement. Okay? Okay. And I'm not going to read all the dates. They are in the record, and you can get those if you need. But the first one is carjacking. And then there was home invasion, second-degree robbery, vehicle burglary, resisting, theft of a motor vehicle, attempted theft of a motor vehicle. And then under another docket, there was second-degree battery, 2 counts, home invasion, simple battery, 2 counts, first-degree rape, 10 counts, second-degree kidnapping, 2 counts, aggravated kidnapping, aggravated burglary, theft of a motor vehicle, theft of using a card, resisting by false identification, human trafficking, felon in possession of a firearm, interfering with 911 communication, sexual battery, 2 counts. I believe your next court case is 5/27 of 26. How do you plead on those charges?
Not guilty.
And you were also charged with being in arrears of your supervision fees. It looks like you were paroled in 2020 and you have never made a payment toward your supervision fees, meaning that you are $3,843 in arrears. How do you plead on that?
Not guilty.
So do you have evidence that you have paid your fees?
Yes. I was talking to Mr. Arnold, and I'll do community service for Assembly South Church. I do pass out food boxes once a month for them.
Did you submit to your probation and parole officer documentation of all of that to offset that $3,000?
Yes. To Terrence Arnold. I had Terrence Arnold as my parole officer first. Me and him had an agreement that I do community service because I couldn't afford to pay the supervision fees.
I saw where you did community service, but I didn't have that it was equitably charged against that account. Mr. Mr. Sims, we have police reports indicating your involvement in these crimes. I know it's a pending court case. Is there anything that you would like to say on your behalf?
Yes, I have no idea where these charges came from. I was at St. Francis Hospital from the day I was released from OCC until the day they arrested me. My mother passed August the 24th, of the same day they say these charges happened. I was in St. Francis Medical Center in the ICU for the last 5 days after I got out of Ouachita Correctional Center. I'm just waiting for the district attorney or whoever is in the case is to give my discovery to whoever it is they're supposed to give it to get me out of these charges. I have no idea about any of these things that have happened.
I would like to ask your attorney, Ms. Butler, at this time, it would be appropriate if you would like to make any statements that we need to take into consideration.
Yes, so just for clarification and for purposes of the record, I believe that you mentioned 2 docket numbers, or 2 different cases. They have been consolidated into one case, so all the charges are in one docket number. If you want the docket number, that's 24 CR 4456. And as it relates to the active charges, I do not represent him on those, but they are still pending. I don't have those records to show that he was at St. Francis, but I'm sure Mr. Ross would subpoena those for his active criminal case, as his defense. But of course, I'm not defending him in that case, so I don't have that information, and I did not subpoena those records.
Thank you for clarification on that, especially with the docket. I have police reports. I don't have any further questions. Do my colleagues have any questions?
I don't have any questions.
I don't really have any questions either. It's extensive amount of criminal charges.
If there's nothing impairing us, Ms. Butler, from making a decision, his involvement has been adequate. I feel like he's been able to make his statements, and so I'm prepared to vote. My vote today would be to revoke Mr. Sims for continued criminal behavior while on supervision.
My vote is to revoke also.
And I concur with those votes also. As of today at 10:15 in the morning, your parole has been revoked. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. That concludes my business.
Same. Okay, the time is 10:28 and we're at Baton Rouge at the Department of Corrections. This is the Committee on Parole. My name is Steve Prater. To my right is Jerry Ledoux. To my left is Chuck Tillis. We are here to talk about and to determine the final revocation hearing for Mr. Marcus Young, who is at the Ouachita Correctional Center, where we've been for quite a few cases. And so we appreciate y'all hosting us. Marcus Young, would you tell us your DOC number, please?
597812.
Okay, and do you have a questionnaire in front of you that says about this this parole revocation hearing?
Yes, yes, sir, I do.
Okay, and you sign that and you understand and you're not eligible for an appointed counsel. And so you could have hired a counsel, but I don't see anybody on the Zoom with us. And so are you prepared to have this hearing now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Miss Jerry Ledoux is the primary on this particular case. We're all familiar with it, but she's going to begin with the questioning and talk to you about your case. Ms. Ledoux.
So you retained counsel Cameron Murray for your legal case, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
But not for this hearing?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So you do have a court case coming up 3/10/26. Mr. Young, I'm going to read out the allegation of violation of parole, and I need you to enter a plea of guilty with a statement, or not guilty. Number 4, you were arrested for DWI 4 on 12/20/2024 by the Ouachita Parish Sheriff's Office. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
I want to refer to the police report that I read, indicating that you were stopped for cause and you passed the breathalyzer and but you actually had an open container of alcohol in your vehicle.
Yes, ma'am. There was an open container.
Okay, and that's the part that concerns me, because you signed your second class offender, your last charge was DWI 4.
Yes, ma'am.
And it clearly states that I will not engage in criminal activity, nor will I associate with people who are be involved in criminal activity. I will avoid bars and casinos. I will refrain from the illegal use of drugs or alcohol.
Yes, ma'am.
An open container in your vehicle indicates that you violated that condition. Would you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
So I don't have any other questions or comments. I would defer to my colleagues.
You agree that you were guilty?
Well, my son used the truck the night before. We only had one vehicle at the house, and it was my other son's birthday, so they left beer cans behind my seat. And I was on the way to work that morning, and when the occurred, I got pulled over. It was in there, and I wasn't aware of it, sir. But that's how it happens.
Have you been doing any drinking lately?
No, sir. No, I was on the way to work that morning. I haven't been doing no drinking.
And you were stopped?
My truck went dead, so I had to pull off to the side of the road. And when I pulled off to the side of the road, it kind of went over to the left-hand side. It's the only place I could pull over at the time. The right-hand side had a ditch over there, and put it neutral. I pulled off to the side of the road. The truck was dead. The officer pulled in behind me. Didn't see where my truck kind of slid, but it wasn't no wreck or nothing like that. It just kind of slid over there. It'd been raining that morning, and it was a muddy spot. And just I pulled out yesterday.
And you passed the breathalyzer?
Yes, sir.
I will note that the arresting officer observed the arrestee disoriented with slurred speech, which gave them cause to probe.
Yes, yes, ma'am. That's what he said. I had slurred speech.
Mr. Young, I will just tell you that this is a very concerning behavior. And if I were on DWI 4th, I would open the door. If there were any alcoholic beverages, I would have tossed everything out. I would have taken very seriously the consequences, okay?
Yes,
So my vote today is going to be to revoke your parole.
My vote's gonna be do not revoke, because of he passed the test.
Okay, my vote is to revoke. I don't know what you might have been taking or whatever, but I think that beer cans in the truck, slurred speech, and the fact that I agree if I was on parole for DWIs, that I would no, you couldn't get me in a truck that I hadn't searched to make sure there wasn't any beer cans, and the fact that they're on the floor, that none of that makes sense. Plus, we don't have any of your sons on Zoom telling us that that's what happened. So
yes.
right. So my vote is also to revoke. So as of today, at 10:35 in the morning, you are hereby revoked. Your parole has been revoked. Sorry to say that. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, it's open for you, so soon as they finish, you're gonna move over here or you're next. They just won't pop up over here.
And they did 46,
Okay. I'm not sure yet.
Morning paperwork, did you do everything for All right, Mr. Percy Antoine, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
My name is Steve Prater, and
Yes, sir.
I'm at the Department of Corrections in Baton Rouge at headquarters. With me on this committee on parole, on this panel, to my right is Jerry Ledoux, to my left, Chuck Tillis, and we'll be deciding about your parole revocation hearing this morning. The time is 10:49 in the morning, and you are at Terrebonne Parish Jail. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what is your DOC number?
528387.
Okay, and do you have a questionnaire in front of you that's got your name signed at the bottom of it talking about this hearing?
What?
It's a revocation questionnaire. Should say at the top, questionnaire.
All I got is revocation hearing, notice of final revocation hearing.
Yes, sir, and there's some check marks on there about an attorney and all of this business? Where you
Yes.
signed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and it talks about the hearing today and that you're not eligible for appointed counsel, is that correct? In other words, are you under any kind of medical care at this particular time?
No, ma'am. I mean, no, sir.
Okay, and so are you prepared to have this hearing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, had to get those preliminaries out of the way. Your case has been assigned to Mr. Tillis, who is on my left. Mr. Tillis, would you take it from here, please?
Good morning, Ms. Antoine.
Good morning, sir.
We have you for violations of some rules here. You failed to restrain criminal activities. You committed the offense of an aggravated assault with a firearm, 3 count, on or about 5/1/25. This new activity result in your arrest by the Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office. On 12/1/25, you pled guilty to the amendment charges of 2 counts of aggravated assault. You were sentenced to 6 months parish jail under a Terrebonne docket. How do you plead guilty, not guilty, or with a statement?
Sir, say that again with a statement.
How do you plead not guilty, guilty, or you want to have a statement on one of your pleas, guilty or not guilty?
I mean, I can speak on my behalf.
Yes.
All right then, sir. I only took the time.
You're pleading guilt or not guilty? Tell me that first. Are you guilty or are you not guilty?
I'm guilty because of the violation of the conditions, but
Okay, go ahead with your statement.
all right. I only took the time, sir, because DCFS in Thibodeau has my kids. The violation, I never committed this crime because I never had no weapon or none of that. My sister only did what she did to me because I didn't want to give her no money because she has a bad addiction. I've been holding a job since I've been out since August 26th of 2024. I've been holding my job since September 2nd, September 5th of 2024, all the way up until the time that this here occurred. Sir, I never ever violated no parole since I ever been coming to jail and been getting on parole. I always followed the conditions and I always completed on parole.
You and your sister had an altercation?
My sister, yes, sir. I mean, I'm the only brother she have. I'm the baby. And I look out for her, you know what I'm saying, when I can. But after I started seeing that she not trying to help herself, I stopped looking out for her and stopped helping her until she started wanting to help herself. I've been putting her in rehabs after rehab, all type of stuff, sir. I can't do it no more. I'm 36 years old. I got 4 kids. I can't take care of no grown woman and my household.
You're living with your sister?
No, sir. And this the tripping part about it. She said what I said. She said what I did. And the same day, the same night, I'm in the house sleep. In her house, sleep.
Okay, any of my colleagues have any questions?
I will note that he was told to go to the day reporting center And he did have a job. So I'm just gonna say,
I go from work to home to taking care of my kids. I don't even be in the streets.
Where's the family excuse me, did you have any other question? Where are the family members that say that you assaulted them?
I don't even know, like, I don't know where my sister at. I've been trying to get in touch with her since I've been here to like tell her, man, come on, man, you know what you're doing. Like, she took my manager position away from me at McDonald's. I was about to become a manager. I never held the job for almost a whole year, sir. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. 2-3 months in at the job, and it's moving too slow for me. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm going back to the streets, but I couldn't do that this time because I made a promise to my kids that I was gonna leave the street life alone. And that's what I did. I held this job for a whole year almost. And my job right now still asking my family when I talk to him when he getting out, because we waiting on him to get out so he could get his job back.
How many
The supervisor of the job even said, just hold his position until he get out. Once he get out, we're gonna put him back on the schedule. We're gonna hold his position for him.
What class offender are you?
Right now, it's showing class offender number 5. You think I got time to be coming back to as I know I'm a class offender number 5? I have 4 kids.
Okay, Pam. Anybody else have any questions?
And right now, as we speak, April 14th is the decision on is they gonna keep my kids in custody and put them in foster care, or they're gonna let them go to my sister or my other sister, my stepsister, and either her or the grandmother. But I have until April 14th. They trying to terminate my parenting rights and everything, and I ain't do nothing. My baby mama and her boyfriend, all type of stuff going on with my kids, and I only took the time because of my kids. I have my knowledge of knowing misdemeanors doesn't violate your parole. So that's what I went off of. I didn't know that misdemeanors now violate your parole. I only took it because of my kids. And to get back to my job. My job waiting on me, my kids in the state. Please, I'm begging.
Okay, you ready to vote?
My vote today is gonna be do not revoke.
Okay, that's one vote. You have 2 out of 3.
my vote is to do not revoke.
Okay, my vote is to revoke. I think with your history of domestic violence and fourth offender and all of the other violent things you've done, and nobody's on here to tell us any different. I think you did exactly what you pled guilty to plus. But that doesn't matter because you still take the day. You're not revoked. And but I'm just saying what my vote was. So when you get back on the street, you see how easy it is to go back to jail. You're looking at a lot of time.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
that's the end of this hearing. You are not revoked this morning. The time is 10:58.
Yes. Thank you, please. Thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you. I'm going back to work.